a surprise sentence in the Pike County massacre. Today, the judge in Jake Wagner's murder case rejected the prosecution's plea deal, instead giving him a chance for parole.
In 2016, Jake Wagner and his family shot and killed his ex-girlfriend, Hanna May Rhoden, and 7 members of her family over the custody of Jake's young daughter with Hanna May.
And taking a look at some of the victims here, of course, the Rhoden and Gilley families. Dana, Christopher, Frankie, Hannah, Hazel, Hanna May, Christopher Jr., Kenneth, and Gary as well.
Prosecutors say Billy and Angela Wagner, along with their son Jake and George, did extensive planning, studying the Rhodens' habits and the layouts of their homes, constructing a homemade silencer, and forging child custody documents. Angela Wagner's mother, Rita Newcomb, and Billy Wagner's mother, Frederica, were charged with obstructing justice and perjury.
Today, 3 people were sentenced for their roles. Jake Wagner is sentenced to 8 life sentences, with the possibility of the parole, though, after 32 years.
His mother, Angela, is sentenced to 30 years in prison. Her mother, Rita Newcomb, sentenced to 5 years probation.
WCPO 9 News reporter Andrew Rowan brings us reaction from the courtroom.
There was audible sobbing in the courtroom when the judge said that Jake was eligible for parole, but the judge also said it wasn't fair that the deal for Jake was going to have the same sentence as his brother George, because George had gone through a months-long trial and was not cooperative, whereas Jake, even though he confessed to killing 5 people, he pled guilty and he helped the state with its case.
How is it that I'm supposed to treat you the same when in fact you didn't act the same?
It's the latest twist in the 2016 murder of 8 members of the Rhoden and Gilley family in Pike County. Judge Jonathan Hain rejecting a deal 32-year-old Jake Wagner made with prosecutors 4 years ago. A guilty, aggravated murder plea in exchange for cooperation and life without parole.
You get your chance to talk to the parole board 32 years from now.
It came just minutes after the judge accepted a deal made with Jake's mother, 54-year-old Angela Wagner, for 30 years behind bars.
You're the only person that could have stopped the whole thing.
During victim impact statements, raw emotions.
You're evil. You are the spawn of Satan.
Hannah Gilley's mother pointing her finger across the courtroom, addressing Jake and Angela directly.
I want your mother to live and you boys to die as well as your dad. I want you to die so your mom feels the heartache of what it's like to bury a child. It's a heartache that never goes away.
Jake facing the families of the victim for his statement.
I am not sorry I got caught. I'm sorry for what I've done.
Giving a 15-minute unscripted speech about religion, remorse, and healing. In the middle, many family members walked out.
I don't live in misery. I've experienced your loss.
The victim's family acknowledging justice is still playing out.
We can only pray that actions that take place in this courtroom today will not dismantle the justice that still has not been served.
The Wagner family patriarch Billy also appeared here in court. He is still awaiting trial. We don't know when or where it's going to be. They did set another pretrial for January 24th. The question that remains for prosecutors is, what is their case against Billy now that Jake and Angela have both been sentenced and no longer have an incentive to testify against their own family? In Pike County, Andrew Rhoden, WCPO 9 News.